Good morning, it's 8:01. I'm Mark Bailey.
And I'm Candace Wynn in for Linton Martin and Heather Myers both have the day off today. It's Monday, September 9th. So here's a look at some of the stories we're covering for you this morning. A war of words. The U.S. will pay the price for any military action against Syria. That's the vow from Syria's president this morning, what Congress faces as they return to work today. Today, anti-war protesters will be demonstrating outside Senator Dianne Feinstein's office here in San Diego. Feinstein has become an adamant supporter of the president's proposal for military action. Today at noon, activists will demonstrate outside the senator's office on B Street in downtown. And those local activists are not alone. A new CNN and ORC International poll released today shows 59% do not want Congress to pass a resolution authorizing a military strike against Syria. That's even though 8 in 10 Americans believe the regime gassed its own people. More than 7 in 10 say such a strike would not achieve significant goals for the U.S.
Breaking news from overnight, a suspected drunk driver slams into several parked cars, leaving a huge mess behind.
Well, take a look at the truck as it hangs between 2 cars and a retaining wall. It happened around 1 this morning along Bredonia Street. One neighbor heard the noise and then rushed outside to see what had happened, and that's when he saw the driver's truck on fire and then rushed to help.
Well, the Chargers' 2013 season finally begins tonight as they host the Houston Texans under the bright lights of Monday Night Football.
So if you're going to the game, wear white to support the team's effort to make it a white-hot Monday night. The game marks the first regular season contest for new head coach Mike McCoy as he tried to help fans forget all about the Norv Turner era.
You're taking out insurance on your fantasy football players?
They take it really seriously. One time,
I guess.
in my house, the internet was down, and it was just chaos.
Disaster.
Let's go to Starbucks. I'm good. Delay. It was horrible.
All right, well, it is a big day for Charger fans as the Bolts take on the Texans tonight. And we found one former San Diegan who's been talking a little trash.
What?
Yes.
Oh, no.
You know, that Ruben Galvan guy, one of my best little buddy there.
Well, he's now in Houston, and he wanted to place a friendly bet. Check out the message Heather and Linda had for him. Their grandkids, they likely started school recently, so how do you deal with that separation anxiety? We have Deborah Stum here today with Supermoms 360. Good morning.
Good morning, Candace. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling relaxed, but I imagine we were just chatting about this,
My husband is not relaxed right now. He's at home getting the kids ready for school. So.
And then, San Diego Unified just started last week, and we were talking about, even more than the hesitation, there can be some deep psychological things behind that anxiety, both for parents and for kids.
Yeah,
Talk about
for parents and kids alike. And one of the things is if you do a few simple things, it can really help your child through that anxiety. And patience is one of the biggest things. Don't expect it to happen overnight. It takes time for these things to, it's nerve-wracking. It's exciting, but it's nerve-wracking when you start school.
So what are some specific tips, let's say, getting ready for school?
Yeah, so the first thing in the morning, have a morning routine established.
Yeah, Candace Wynn live in the newsroom with more on the meeting that will be held today, and it will likely draw a heated debate. Candace.
Well, investigation is underway to find out who should pay to decommission the plant. San Diegans definitely have a stake in this. SDG&E owns 20% of the facility and is looking to recover $808 million in assets from customers. Troubles at the plant started in January 2012. Southern California Edison found excessive wearing of pressure tubes. San Onofre has been shut down permanently since. To decommission it, Edison has come up with a preliminary and conservative estimate, they say, of $4.1 billion. About 3.5 of that total has already been collected from ratepayers by Edison and its 2 partners, SDG&E and Riverside's utility department. The money came from surcharges on monthly electric bills. At the meeting today, Nuclear Regulatory Commission staff will deliver a 45-minute presentation on the decommissioning process as well as regulations. Then they'll take some questions from the public. So if you want to be part of that conversation, the meeting is today at 6. It's being held at the Omni La Costa Resort and Spa located on Costa Del Mar Road in Carlsbad. Now the NRC says doors will open at 5 p.m. today to allow for security screening, so you'll definitely want to arrive early. Federal regulators found SoCal Edison and its contractor Mitsubishi responsible for the failed reactors. In the newsroom, I'm Candace Wynn. Mark, back to you. Law enforcement officials are now telling media Aaron Alexis heard voices in his head, suffered from paranoia and a sleep disorder. One friend said Alexis carried a handgun with him at all times with no holster, fearing he'd be robbed of his belongings. Now this comes as a surprise to other friends who say he appeared at odds with his devout commitment to Buddhism.
I know he was a practicing Buddhist. That's how he and my husband met, was the Buddhist temple just down the street. And he was very caring and very helpful and very nice, very friendly.
Well, all this information is just coming in, helping investigators try and figure out the possible motive. Much of the day, police feared there were multiple shooters at the Navy Yard, but later said they believe Alexis was the only one responsible. Several reports reveal the suspect's criminal past, including a 2004 arrest in Seattle for shooting out the rear tires of a car in what he later called an anger-fueled blackout. There was also his 2010 arrest in Fort Worth, Texas, for firing a gun through the ceiling of an apartment. Alexis told police he was cleaning the gun when it went off. The Washington Post is reporting the suspect was arrested in Georgia in 2008 for disorderly conduct. He was a Navy reservist until he was discharged for a pattern of misconduct. Over the summer, Alexis called a friend in Texas while working as a military contractor to talk about his financial problems.
Was wondering if I could help him out a little bit financially because they were slow to pay. The company did not pay him what they said they were going to.
Now, some news outlets are speculating Alexis acted out after a contracting job ended badly last year, but authorities are far from confirming a motive. We are also learning Alexis was being treated for his mental problems by the VA since August. However, the Navy had not declared him mentally unfit. If it had, he would not have had access to the Navy Yard yesterday. In the newsroom, I'm Candace Nguyen. Heather, back to you.